Grace Kitchens presents Creative Cooking. In this series, we showcase the talents of some of our favorite chefs as they demonstrate how to prepare some of their favorite dishes. And now, here is today's host.
Hello, welcome to the show. Many homemakers tell us that they are afraid to use yeast. After today's show, you'll throw away all those fears because this is a day you'll conquer yeast. With me today is Curtis Ralston, Master Chef at the Jamaica Defence Force. Welcome to Creative Cooking, sir. Thank you very much. What are you making for us today?
Well, today we'll be making the cinnamon raisin swirl loaf. Today I'm making the cinnamon raisin swirl loaf. We have today the flour, and I'm gonna pour in the yeast with half of the flour, and I'm gonna have the margarine melted, and this I'll add with the salt, half of the sugar, the milk, and we'll mix this. This is then poured into the flour mixture with the yeast. Then we mix, try to incorporate the flour and the liquid mixture. We'll also pour in the remainder of flour. To this mixture we add the egg, and then we continue to mix until all the liquid ingredients are fully incorporated into the flour and yeast mixture. Put a little flour on our board here. Scrape out all the ingredients from the container. Try to get out as much as possible. Yeast is dormant. When the water comes in contact with it, it becomes alive and it starts working. Can do this. This will last. This process, the mixing process, will last for about 8 minutes. So we put it in a very nice grease bowl, and then we cover that grease bowl now with a piece of foil or saran wrap. This is to prevent the moisture from escaping, and we put it aside to ferment for about an hour and a half. Once it has risen, what we do, we punch it down. In the punching down process, what we do, we try to get rid of the carbon dioxide, because in the yeast products it builds a lot of carbon dioxide. We get rid of the carbon dioxide out of the product itself. We put it on a light board with our rolling pin. Don't try to get it as pliable as possible. Don't stretch the dough, because if you stretch the dough when it starts baking, what is going to happen, it is going to shrink and you're not going to get the product that you really want. So you just roll and ensure that it is well pliable on the board. The next thing that we do now is that we have the remainder of sugar and cinnamon. We mix them together. So what you really want to do is to ensure that the complete surface of the product is wet with some water, and then you sprinkle on your cinnamon and sugar. After ensuring that you have enough cinnamon and sugar on top, what we are going to do now, it is a loaf, so we are going to roll like you would roll a Swiss roll. That's exactly what we are doing. Okay, what we are trying to do is to ensure that the seal that is formed, it is at the bottom, and what we do, we try to pinch to hold it together to ensure that during the baking process it does not pull apart. And then we get our loaf tin, place your loaf into a nice grease 9-inch loaf pan. Bake at 350 degrees for about an hour. Okay. What we are going to do now, we are going to make a icing for the final product. Okay. We have the vanilla, milk and icing sugar. Pour in the milk and the vanilla and we mix. Try to incorporate them as best as possible. Because what we are going to do, it is not one of those icing that you are going to use a palette knife
to spread.
To spread. It is one that we are going to do what we call a drizzle. Just pour it over to ensure that it gives this nice sheen on the product.
Look at the texture, close, even texture.
Right, very close, even texture. Right. And that is what we are looking for. Just for our added sugar, we a little drizzle of the icing that we had earlier on.
Yes.
For those who
like
right
something a little more sweeter.
Right.
Could display that on this. Oh, good, very good. I must invite you to stay on in the program. In today's mailbox, Curtis will share with us more tips on working with yeast. Consumers always ask us about the different types of yeast, so I'd like you to share with us what we have.
Well, we have the instant yeast, and we have also the active yeast, and we have the compressed yeast.
The compressed yeast, which is like in a block,
in
right?
In a block. The instant yeast and the active yeast, it comes in granular form.
Right. We want to make sure that when you add the yeast, it is mixed in first. Don't just put on the yeast and then put the salt on it, because salt has a retarding effect on yeast activity. So you have to mix in the yeast first, then you add the salt, or mix in the salt first and then you add the yeast. Very important, we need to look at the temperature, right? And that is the problem that many people have, you know, because when you're mixing, you pour on this very hot water. Can we say to them, Curtis, we're talking about water that is lukewarm. If Curtis gives you a recipe for hard dough bread, and everybody wants to make a hard dough bread, make sure you follow the recipe just as it is given to you. We have so much to share about yeast, eh? Time is not going to allow us. We thank you so very much. Before you go, here is a Grace Kitchen tip. That's our show for today. Please contact us if you have any questions about food or the kitchen by mail, phone or email. Till next time, thanks for watching.
This is Chef Season on Creative Cooking, and we hope you enjoyed today's show. Join us every Monday morning at 7:35 as we showcase the talents of some of our favorite chefs, demonstrating some of their favorite dishes here on Smile Jamaica, It's Morning Time. Chef Season continues next Monday morning on Creative Cooking, 7:35 on TVJ, and with a repeat at 2:50 p.m. every Sunday afternoon. Don't miss it.